Welcome to Context TV. We are now talking to Kumi Naidoo here in Glasgow at the COP26. Naidoo is a human rights and environmentalist activist from South Africa. He was director of Greenpeace International until 2016 and Secretary General of Amnesty International until 2020. He is at this time fellow at the Bosch Stiftung in Berlin. Welcome to Context TV, Kumi Naidoo.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
It's a great pleasure to have you. You have been fighting for a real solution to the climate crisis for a long time, committed to acts of civil disobedience and were arrested. If you turn back, where do we stand right now here at the COP26 in Glasgow? Has anything changed in the last years concerning climate policies and also concerning the global movements who demand a rapid shift in course?
Thankfully, there is something that has shifted, which is that the number of people in the world who now understand that we need to act with urgency to address the climate crisis. There are many people who recognize, while our governments don't seem to recognize, that we are living in the most consequential decade of humanity's history. What we do in the next 10 years will determine what future we have, or whether our children and their children will have a future at all. But I'm sad to say that if you look at where the science and extreme weather events are and where the politics and the economics is, there is still far too big a gap. Our leaders here are in denial that in fact we are running out of time and that we are 1 minute to midnight and the window of opportunity for us to act is small and is closing fast. Thankfully, there is a groundswell of resistance that is coming outside the COP, a little bit inside the COP, but we have a long way to go before we can get our leaders on side with us. Our leaders seem to believe that it's still possible to make baby step changes and sell it as if they're doing something big, and basically they are trying to rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic while humanity is sinking. The approach of our leaders is still very much the same like we saw at the end of the global financial crisis, which was all about system recovery, system protection, system maintenance. What was needed then and what is urgently needed more so now is system innovation, system redesign and system transformation. And sadly, the majority of our leaders in government are not up to the task because they are far too in the pockets of the fossil fuel industry. Let me just end by saying, do you know which is the biggest delegation at this COP?
The fossil fuel industry.
The oil and gas companies are twice the size of the largest government delegation, which is the UK government delegation.